What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast, back for another week. I'm your host, Alex League. We got Amanda on the show. It's always good to have you back, Amanda.
Always good to be here.
And we got a special guest, John Abraham, former New York Jet, Atlanta Falcon, and Arizona Cardinal. Great to have you on, John. This is like your fifth or sixth time on the show. It's always great to have you on.
¿Dónde estás las maletas? I have lost my luggage. That's like the only Spanish I know.
This is the 2024 New York Jets season preview. John Abraham, a former New York Jets defensive end. And I'm excited to start previewing these teams. Training camp starts on Thursday for the Jets. And John, are you excited for the NFL season? Training camp, always this time of year, I start getting excited. How about you?
The excitement is always going to be there for me simply because you want to see what's new going on. And I think everybody, after basketball is over with, I love the new WNBA. I love the new attraction that the women are bringing out. But, during football season, the Sundays, Thursdays, Mondays, be very, very quiet. Like I live in Atlanta and there's like nothing going on. The Dream are playing well, but when it comes to football, it's like all week. If it's 17 weeks, it's like 20 weeks because it's going to be that whole preparation. Just like her got her Green Bay just ready to go right now. Y'all talking about games that are going to happen like weeks from now, but y'all already planning for stuff like that. So it's definitely a different atmosphere. You have women being men, you have men being women, everybody just breaking down. I might be soft this year. She might be kicking butt. Amanda might be like, yeah, and I'll be like, no. So, it's like, it's just a different.
I'm always like that when it comes to football,
yes,
though.
It's a different perspective when it comes to football. And I think everyone is really ready. Like I was just asking y'all about the college football video game. It's just everyone, they got the flag football going in now. Probably gonna be something before the Olympics. It's like football is just is becoming a worldwide sport. Not the other football, but this football.
Yeah. This football, the American
sport. Yeah, the real football.
Yeah.
We're gonna get so much hate for that one. But so John, especially for someone with the Jets tie-in, like last year, I mean, the season went off the rails immediately. 4 snaps into the season, Aaron Rodgers goes down for the season. I mean, how do you think the mentality is going into this season? I mean, we had Zach Wilson come in last year. Like, what is your thought about
Trevor Siemian
this year?
Yeah.
Well, I think the Jets have always went and got like an older quarterback and, try to just keep him in there for a little while, like even with Brett Favre, Joe Flacco back in the day. We get the older guys because we want consistency. And I'm not saying we because, I'm a Falcon, I'm a Cardinal, and I'm also a Jet. So when I say we, I'm saying it, that they're part of my heritage also. We get guys kind of on their latter part, and we hope for the best. I think everyone being a Jets guy, I would love to see a guy not to come in just for a one-hit quitter type thing. That seems like that's becoming a repetitive thing instead of trying to find. I know Zach Wilson didn't pan out like he wanted to, but go get somebody else that can probably be there for a little bit longer. I'm hoping that we can go get somebody in the draft because Aaron is phenomenal. I mean, selling tickets, us talking about him right now, this is what the Jets need for the pub, but also they want to win. And, wanting to win, we're going to have to, maybe they have to draft like 3 quarterbacks in one draft and just hope to get one or make a phenomenal just blockbuster trade and get somebody that will be like least expect us to get in there. But saying the Super Bowl now because Aaron back, for me, it's just a lot of air. Not knocking Aaron. I know he's been MVP. He won Super Bowl though. So I'm doing this like psychology class. They talk about reality and validity and stuff like this. So reality is that it's like a bullseye circle. So he can hit the playoffs, but he only got 1 Super Bowl. So it's like this is the reality. So this is what's happening, and it's not valid that you're saying he's gonna win another Super Bowl. Like, so that's what I'm saying. So like I was looking at this and I was like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. Because you can have somebody that always even with the quarterback, like they have here, they can say, oh, this guy is a quarterback, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that. And we gotta be, this is what he does. It's a rational thing. He'll get you an MVP, but we don't know if he's gonna get a ring.
Well, something Alex and I touched on a lot over the season is the Jets management went into the season knowing that they had a relatively injury-prone big star coming in And they didn't do a lot to bolster their backup quarterback situation. I mean, they looked at their QB room with Boyle and Wilson and they're like, yeah, this is good. Like they didn't plan for the, probability of their older 1 or 2 year quarterback getting injured, which I mean, we were kind of dumbfounded by.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
and they got Tyrod Taylor this year. Do you think that helps? Tyrod Taylor's a veteran.
like I said, we're talking about validity. When I've told you, I was looking at that psychology thing, and they showed me validity. What has he done to make you feel like? I think what is he? Five. What? How many starts he got? 21 starts. 5, 17. I'm not sure exactly what his numbers are, but it's not something that if Aaron goes down, it's not like we're going to be safe again.
Yeah.
It's going to be almost the same thing as Zach Wilson. So it's like, and not trying to bring Atlanta into this, but Atlanta went and got Penix. At least you got a guy that you think you can keep. Like, let's say if something happened to the quarterback, we got a younger guy. So if we have to trick off the season, at least we're tricking off on somebody that we can keep for the next 4 or 5 years and, plan our team around it. I think you and me and Amanda agree that we're not looking at Tyrod Taylor to take us to the playoffs or go any further than that, just to be honest.
He's got 58 starts, but yeah, he's like a good backup. He's not that starter, quality. And a lot of players spoke out last year when Aaron Rodgers went down 4 plays into the season, and a lot of players at MetLife Stadium in general on that artificial turf. A lot of players are going down with major injuries. Is that something that you had a problem with when you played? Do you see that as being an issue?
I think football is football, whether it's played on AstroTurf or grass. I've got hurt on grass. I've got hurt on AstroTurf. So
yeah,
I think, and I feel safer on the turf than I would on grass, honestly, because with ankles and different stuff, and then it's like keeping up grass. Like when I was in Arizona, like by the time we was in the 4th quarter, the field was horrible. So you really watch. Like people don't see. I love grass because we played on it when you was a kid, and you love it because it's not as hard. But this new turf, I think we don't see it like when I was playing, I think it was 2000 when I came in the league and they had the real AstroTurf, like not this turf they had now. Now that was dangerous. Like you see guys with just rug burns from here, knees, everything. So it's a lot easier. And I would take the turf over grass, honestly. Like me personally, as being a defensive end, not worrying about slipping and doing certain things.
Nice. Let's see. Do you think, like for Zach Wilson, I think part of the issue is does a big city play a role in that? The added pressure, the media scrutiny, the nightlife, etc. There's talk about Caleb Williams going to my Bears, Malik Neighbors going to New York with the Giants. Do you think that can play a role in a young player in their development?
I think one thing that I was thinking about, people saying that, players are bust or player didn't do this, but we don't know what they came to the league to do.
Yeah.
That's my big thing about, we don't know. Zach might have just wanted to make it to the NFL. People put a lot of stuff on your back by choosing you at a certain position. I don't think people understand, when we were kids, some of us are not thinking about going pro to be the star. We're not going to be Jordan. We just want to play that game.
Yeah.
And, some people just making it to the NFL, like him being in New York, that might have satisfied something that we can't see entire. If I was to tell you right now, Alex, look, we're gonna sign you to the Bears for a week. You're gonna be like, hell yeah. You're not worrying about going out there.
Exactly.
You're not going out there trying to sweetness. You're not going out there trying to, but you're gonna play your ass off. So I'm we don't know exactly. So when I don't want to knock the players on where they go, because if you want to be a good player, wherever you go, you're gonna play.
Yep.
I was in New York, I was in Atlanta, I've been in Arizona. I performed well in all those cities. Now, was I bad? Oh, yes, I was. But did I play well? Oh, yes, I did. So it was certain things that I really had to sit down and think about it. We was talking about Jamarcus Russell. We was talking about a few other busts and people call busts. I said, maybe Jamarcus just wanted a check. We sitting here calling him a bust. You can't really generalize and say that unless you know what that person wanted to do with his career. Now, if he would have came in, because I didn't hear Zach talking a lot of trash about, I want to lead us to the Super Bowl, or I'm going to do this. He was confident, but he didn't come in like Aaron Rodgers. him and Aaron Rodgers were two different. Aaron Rodgers came in to work. Like, I'm thinking about when Aaron Rodgers, he dropped in the draft, and it was like, you see the poise in his face. It was a whole different poise compared to when you seen Zach got drafted. Like, Zach was like, hey, I got a job. Be right, I got me a job. But you see Aaron was like, everybody saw Aaron sitting like that, and Aaron sat there and waited for his time, and he performed. So it's a lot of things that people, when you call somebody a bust, or you saying they didn't do what their potential was, you don't know what their potential is because we don't know what they were coming into the NFL for.
Yeah. And I think there's something to be said for that confidence too, because as a Packers fan, there's been many times where we've seen Aaron Rodgers say something and he speaks that into existence. I mean, there was I can't remember what week it was. It was like week 10 or something. They're like, hey, if you guys don't win out, then you're going to miss the playoffs. And he's like, all right, we'll just run the table. They won every single game for the rest of the season. There was the RELAX season where they were like, hey, are you guys stressing out? We've lost a couple of games. He's like, no, just relax. We got this. We made it to the NFC Championship that game, I think, or that year. Like, so I think there's something to be said for the confidence of it, but I do agree with you. The mentality of the players isn't something that's publicized. So as fans, we think everyone wants to win a Super Bowl and that's the end goal and they're ready to scrap. But I mean, what's that show, Blue Mountain State, where the one guy only wants to be the backup quarterback and he does not want to be the starting quarterback?
I just watched that. That
yeah, he's like, no.
He's like, you got to start. He was like, no.
Oh, hell no. Yeah. I mean, maybe that's the end goal, man. We don't know.
Because no, I'm like what you said, and it's crazy. I just watched that, but like that's what I'm saying when people talk. Cause I had a teammate, and I don't really want to say his name, but I will. Jamal Anderson. Like, I knew he didn't really care if he was all pro or this, and this, but he enjoyed it. He got to be in the NFL. He got to play football. He got to get a good living for his family. You don't understand, like Zach might be in the league 15, 20 more years being a backup. And we can say he was a bust, but as a person in regular life, if you're making $1 million a year for the next 20 years, you succeed. So I don't care when people say people are bust, I'm like, I don't think y'all know what y'all talking about. Like, how long he play? How much money did he make? Out of school at 21, 22 years old, to be able to do that, you can call me a bust in football, but in life, damn it, I won. Like I play, like for me personally, I can tell you, I feel like my career was a bust. People will say I had an amazing career. People say, John, you played 15 years, you did this. I didn't get in. I didn't win a Super Bowl. I didn't lead the league in sacks at all. So, and I'm not a Hall of Famer right now. So for me, my career at 15 years was a bust. People will say he was a great player. He did this, but in my mind, even when I was done with football, the reason why I had so many mental issues, I had to get over what I didn't do in life. So, so I see a lot of guys, and I know guys that were free agents, and now they're still like doing positive stuff in their life because they just wanted to make it to the league. So that's when I know I totally got off of what we were talking about, but I'm just saying that for me, it's sensible, just like when we put a lot of stuff on people and we don't know what exactly these people have, we can't really judge. Because you can say somebody, like some people might say, oh, he never won a championship, so he didn't do that, or he never did this. But, looking at him as a person, like, I think everybody who even make it to the NFL is a winner.
Looking at the Jets, I mean, they added a lot of weapons. Added like Mike Williams, for example, from the Chargers to that receiving core. You got Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, Alan Lazard, who's got a lot of built-in chemistry with Aaron Rodgers, and now the rookie Malachi Corley. I don't think Aaron Rodgers needs to be MVP level Aaron Rodgers. He just needs to stay healthy and be healthy late in the season, come December, January, and maybe they can go on a run. Do you think that offense, even 75% Aaron Rodgers, is going to be an improvement and better weapons around him, right?
Definitely. Mike Williams is probably one of the most underrated receivers, because he's not a guy, I guess you could just, you're not looking for him deep all the time, but he's one of those possession guys that can play well. I've heard the name dropped about Devontae coming maybe. And like you said, even the 75% Aaron to be good, but also with the receivers he had, the young receivers he had, it's going to help him out a lot. It's not like, Wilson is due for a great year. And he's one of those guys you can throw it short and he can take it distance, and that's what helps Aaron. That's why he liked Devontae. That's why he liked Cobbs. He had guys that would make him look good after the catch. He would make the impossible throw, But after the guy got the ball, he made something with it. And having guys like that are something that, every quarterback wants. I remember when I was with Chad Pennington, and and we got rid of Lavernius. I've never seen a quarterback so sad that he begged them to bring Lavernius back. Like Lavernius went to Washington, Lavernius went to Washington, got paid. Chad was like, I want him back. And I understand the whole concept of why Aaron is so lethargic about having guys that he already knows and he's played with, because you know where to throw the ball, you know exactly how to put it in a certain place. And once, Mike, learns them, and, Wilson has seen them already, I think it's going to be a nice core, just because Aaron is the one that's conducting it.
Yeah.
I like the Mike Williams connection this year too, because I mean, he went down in week 3 with that torn ACL. So he's going for his comeback season. Rodgers is coming in with his comeback season. I think the two of them have probably, been doing some rehab and getting their minds right together. I can see them being a really good, like, mental kind of accountability partner coming back from those season-ending injuries. So I'm excited to see that chemistry.
To go with Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, even Tyler Conklin, was great last year with below average quarterbacks. And then, Amanda, to your point, the offensive line. And John, like, that's got to be everything, right? Solidifying that offensive line, not only bringing in Tyrone Smith, trading for Morgan Moses, and drafting Olu Fashanu. I mean, John Simpson as well. Like, they really revamped that offensive line. That's a recipe for success, right? Do you agree with me? It's about building through the trenches to be successful in the NFL?
Well, I think it pretty much was clarified in that one play when Aaron got hurt. Not saying it was the offensive lineman's fault exactly, but everybody said, if that person wouldn't have missed the block, Aaron would have, so it's a lot of, ifs, ands, and buts, and also having the old line they have with the defensive line that they already are registering and probably going to have a tremendous year, even with the loss of Huff. They're gonna have to get better just from practice. Because I know, like, when I've been on a team, that our D line was way better than our offensive line, so we had to make them better. So we had to go hard. We had to do certain things. We had to show them the dirty parts of the game so they can get through. So I think this old line, especially with Tyron, coming in, hopefully he come in with a, just sit and listen. Even though he's a vet, just sit and listen and learn Aaron. Learn Aaron, learn his steps. Because I think if you know, like, what your quarterback can do and how fast he can get the ball out, you'll know how long you got to really, hold it down.
And then that D line is nasty too. Adding Javon Kinlaw, Hassan Reddick, Quinn Williams, Jermaine Johnson. I look at this Jets defense. I don't really see any holes from top to bottom. D line, linebackers, defensive backs. That defense, the offense doesn't have to. They just have to, like, protect the football. Don't be throwing pick sixes. Don't be going 3 and out all the time. That defense is good enough. And they say it's an offensive league, it's a passing league. That Jets defense is going to keep them in a lot of games.
Definitely. I mean, and that's what it should be. I mean, that's football. Like, literally, if you want to see good football, you got to see some good defense. And I think Robert Saleh has did a great job of just padding that defense up, like going to find pieces that like the Williams brothers, like you said, Thos. It's just like anything that you pretty much want, they have. Like, even the middle linebacker going all the way to the outside. So it's not even an issue of, and I think that's why it hurt so bad that they lost Aaron, because they'll never know what that season could have been. Even with all the hype and everything was going on, you just want to see. I mean, I went to a game and it was not the same. It was just not the same. When I went for the preseason and just watching him and just the aura, like, everybody just felt like it wasn't just him that was shining. It was like everybody had this aura, like they were just, like, untouchable, like they already had won. And that's something that you don't. That's something that you just don't see every day. I went to see the Cowboys when I was younger, like in the 20s. When I walked in the locker room, they had Dion here, they had Emmett here, they had guys there. And when I walked in, you just had an aura. It wasn't just one person. Like, it wasn't like when I walked to the Jets, it was Aaron was there, but it was like, oh, Robert. Oh my God, Williams. Like, everybody had that aura at that time. When he went down, when I went during the season, the aura was gone.
Yeah.
It was no aura. It was just like I was just seeing players. It was like I was just seeing players just walking in the locker room. It was like, this ain't the same. Like, the aura was totally different. Like, the confidence level, the way people were walking around. That I don't even know what you call it, but it was just something that brought it. So it was different. It was different. Like, when he went down, Like, and I went to the other, I was like, oh, like, it's not even the same team. Like, literally, it's not even the same team, just for him going down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Jets with Aaron going down just missed their 13th straight season postseason. I mean, looking at the team now, if Aaron Rodgers hadn't been, going through what he went through in the season, I feel like there'd be a lot more pressure and a lot more eyes on that coaching staff. I mean, we know Hackett went with Aaron. I mean, MVP seasons back to back in 2021. We know he can coach. And then we've got Salah. Like, do you think the pressure will be there this year if they don't make the postseason, or if something goes wrong this year? Do you see Robert facing a lot more pressure? Because, I mean, you had Aaron Rodgers, he went down early last season. If they don't make the postseason this season, I can see that coaching staff getting fully revamped.
Yeah.
Being a Jets, I guess, in the Jets locker room before playing, and also being somewhat of a fan, is going to be there definitely. It's no, because think about it, Aaron is getting older. So if they don't make it this year, they're going to okay, so we got Aaron, y'all promised us this, so we don't want to sit here and wait. It's going to lose a lot of air. Like, you know how much, you know how inflated the balloon was last year. So the balloon is kind of like this. People aren't really talking about them going to the Super Bowl. They talk about them making the playoffs now, because you just said it, Amanda. You didn't say Super Bowl. Last year it was like, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl. Now you're like 13 years of not making the playoffs. So you can see how the balloon went from here last year to the balloon is like, okay, let's just make the playoffs so they can help.
Hey man, I'm a Packers fan. I know where his cap has been.
We're talking at just podcasting right now. But it went from last
NFC Championship. That's his cap, man. We don't make it past the championship game.
Last year, everyone was like, Aaron is going to get a Super Bowl. Now it's like, shit, are they going to make the playoffs?
Yeah.
Playoffs. So it's like, it went like, I promise you, because last year, like, it was just so much hype. Like, now they just like, okay, so, is the coaching staff going to be okay this year? Like, if they just make the playoffs, and
lower the bar a little bit.
The bar is literally like just cross over. It used to be, it was like this, and now, so hopefully they can take this to their advantage, because they got a lot of the stress away. Like, hopefully a lot of the stress is out of the way. Buffalo played well last year. They didn't make it. So, and Miami, they didn't make it. So it's like, okay, we do have a place in here. Like, none of these guys went to the Super Bowl. This is my whole little squad that supposed to have been way better than us. We're possibly in it. Like, all we got to do is stay healthy. Because we know our defense can handle these guys. So why not?
Well, I mean, look what they've done with their offseason moves compared to other teams in the division. Like, the Bills have been baffling this offseason. They let big names go and then do nothing. Like, they've been so passive in the offseason. Like, yeah, they can probably scrape by, but the Bills don't seem like they're trying to scrap together a Super Bowl run at all this year, which is kind of weird, because I feel like Josh Allen's talent is being wasted a little bit.
Yeah. I feel a lot of these people now feel like they have a Mahomes or they have a Tom Brady. They put a lot of stature in quarterbacks that haven't proven they've done it. They just feel like they're going to get it from him one day, and they rather just let everyone go and keep him. Like, okay, well, our offseason was fine. We can get another Diggs. Diggs is he's whatever. We can make this guy. We can make this guy Diggs with Josh.
Yeah.
Some people are that balloon again. They inflate stuff before the person has really done it, and it's sad to a certain extent, but it also shows confidence in your quarterback. You feel like you're the important part. So if you want to make this kind of money and you want to do this, you have to show us.
So you talked about looking ahead at games that are, weeks away, months away. Let's look at that schedule and like kind of predict how we see it. I mean, week 1, Monday Night Football, Jets at 49ers. That's going to be such an awesome game. I'm already hyped for that. All eyes are going to be on Aaron Rodgers just to get through that game, right? Just to finish week 1 and stay healthy. But that's going to be a tough game to win at San Francisco. The first 3 weeks, you can come out of that 2-1. It's not too bad. But then you got, at Vikings versus the Bills, at the Steelers versus the Texans. It's going to be a tough season. That a lot of primetime games, a lot of eyes are going to be on this team. How do you think the Jets manage it? go 9-8, go 10-7, and sneak into the playoffs, and then see what Aaron Rodgers can do. Right? Is that kind of? Do you think their mentality?
I give us 11-6. I say 11-6,
Yeah.
and I think we might sneak up on the 49ers. I just got a feeling that the Jets are going to be ready to play that game.
Yeah.
Even though it's in 40. I mean, oh boy is from Cali, so it's a
That's
different
true.
type. When you're playing close to home, it's different. Trust me. Every time I played Carolina, I would show my butt. Like, because I'm from South Carolina, and our team is pretty much that. And the Super Bowl loss, sometimes it takes the teams a couple games to get back into that form and start rolling again.
Yeah.
So I think that they may sneak that game in. I can see 11 games or maybe more if the health is there. If the health is there and they can get on the same accord early. And I think they will, because I think it's going to be a kind of game for the 49ers just to get out and, knock the dust off. And I think for the Jets, it's like we're ready. Like, I think the energy level is going to be more there for the Jets than probably 49ers. But all the other games,
Yeah,
Well,
instead of being at home, you're going into San Francisco. They're gonna be hyped up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
and
Amanda.
Aaron Rodgers with the Packers. I mean, the 49ers have been an unbreakable wall for the Packers for years. So I'm sure Aaron's ready to beat that team. Like, he might be on
Yeah.
another team, but I bet, like, man, the Niners fucked up a lot of postseason runs for the Packers in Aaron's career. So I can see him being ready to go week 1.
Yeah.
And then weeks 13 through 18 to end the season is like 5 out of 6 or 4 out of the 6 final games are against teams that were in the playoffs last year, and tough divisional games. A couple of those are probably going to be flexed to prime time. So really the key is, you can start a little slow, you can have a little bumps in the season, but if you finish strong and go into the playoffs on a high note, who knows what can happen.
Yeah, different year, different dollar, man.
Yeah.
Different year, different dollar.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at what the Seahawks, the Dolphins, Jags,
Yeah.
Rams. It's not scaring me at all. Like, they got the Dolphins twice. I think that's kind of because that has to do with the AFC East. But like, besides that, I can see them doing the Rams, because the Rams, they lost Aaron Donald, and I know everybody, like, it's just one guy. Man, you got to be. That's their defense. So, and we trying to keep Aaron standing up. So it's going to be a lot of teams that don't understand the importance of one purpose sometimes, and that's a very important person right there. But I can see them doing a lot better than probably people thinking.
I agree. I got them 10 to 12 wins. I'm thinking the exact same thing. I think they can potentially steal the division. Like Amanda said, the Bills might take a little bit of a step back, and the Bills have won it, 4 straight times, 5 straight years?
And I love Josh Allen. So that pains me to say, but it just doesn't seem like they care this year for some reason. I don't know why. Like, we were joking around before you came on. It's like the Bears are like really, or the Bills are really religious this year. They're like, oh well, it's in the Lord's hands now. Like, they're just winging it. Like, whatever happens, happens. Like, they're just
that
like,
sounds
oh,
like me.
Jesus, take the wheel. Like,
I swear that sounds like me right now. I'm like, well, you got it. I'm let it go. Hey, they could be like that though. They might be wasting a year. They might be something out there that we don't know. It's so funny when you think about franchises, and we like, what do they do this year? And then next year they come out just blazing and just doing crazy. So
Packers fans with the Jordan Love draft situation. I mean,
now
I
y'all
ran
don't
my
want to play
mouth
him.
So hard.
Now y'all don't want to pay him. Why y'all won't pay him? Why y'all won't pay him? Why y'all won't pay him?
We're paying him. We're working it out. We're close.
They'll pay him. They'll watch.
He had 6 good games. Like,
that's
you're
enough.
gonna pay a guy for 4 years for 6 good games? Like, that's
enough.
insane. I know we need to, but like, how do you quantify that? Like, we saw it for a second. Do you know how many players have had a good half a season and then just gone to shit for the rest of their career? Like, that's
I agree. They still some quarterbacks out here that shit, and they getting paid, so you might as well give them a chance.
Hey. I mean, what has Dak done since his contract?
Oh man.
Yeah, he puts up stats. Real quick.
Stats. He's a great stat guy. We can't knock him.
He's a great stat guy, but he lost to Jordan Love in the playoffs in Jordan Love's first season. So
that's the reason why. You kind of contradicting yourself.
Oh, I know.
she does.
You just contradicted. You're like, well, he ain't do nothing, but he beat Dak.
No, I'm saying Dak got paid after having one good-looking season, and then hasn't done much since besides get beat by a rookie in the playoffs. Like, that's my point. Like, I know we need to pay him so he doesn't get better and then need more money before we pay him. But
it's true.
Paying a guy for 3 great games, 6 good games, like
it really only takes a little bit now. You know,
No,
they
but
only
that's
take
scary.
there are a lot of backup quarterbacks out here, and I ain't trying to talk trash about it. No, there are a lot of backup quarterbacks that got jobs just from saving
A couple games.
Tom Brady get hurt, somebody else
Yep.
come in and get paid.
Matt
You know,
Castle.
they go someplace.
Yeah.
There are a lot of guys that just floating around, and they're not as they really weren't as good as Jordan Love is. So
No,
I mean, Jordan Love can literally be y'all franchise guy. Like I can see him, and I like it because he's square headed. Is it square headed or round headed? What is it called? Level headed. Level headed.
level-headed. I was like, what are we, triangles?
Square headed.
Pentagons? What are we talking? Are we
He seems
holograms
pretty
over here?
level headed. He seems like a football player. Like if
Yeah.
you look at like just going down, y'all have been so blessed. Going from Brett Favre to Aaron, and now having Jordan, and it seemed like everybody is in the same mix. I mean, you went from a gunslinger to another gunslinger, and possibly a third. So I mean, y'all are really blessed, and like I don't even understand. Like whatever you're saying about your 6 games, dude. Like if somebody just to flip a coin every year, and I got this one, I got this one, I got this one. That is. There ain't
My
many
Bears
teams to
are
say that.
gunslinger now, so Amanda's Packers are in trouble. She better look out for my Bears.
I'm from Michigan as a Packers fan, right? I met Brett Favre when I was little, fell madly in love. But growing up, I didn't have anything negative to say about the Lions or the Bears. Like they were never a threat, so I didn't care. But Bears fans hate the Packers.
We're not Packers.
Like, why are we gonna pick on the dumb kids? Like, no, it's
They
okay.
were
We can
never
be nice.
a threat.
No, they hated us, and I never really got it as a kid because I was like, what? I just like the Packers. It's not a big deal. Like, I would be so sick of our shit if I was another team in that division. Like, really, another franchise quarterback just like that? Are you guys kidding me? Like the Bears have gone through how many quarterbacks? Like
Too many. And the Jets are in the same boat. It's like when it comes to drafting and developing, these franchises can't do it. That's why they try to go get a Jay Cutler or a Aaron Rodgers or a Brett Favre, you know.
Did you throw Jay Cutler in with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre? Hold up. Can we...
Well, or like, you know how it goes. Like, they just can't develop.
I'm going to take a clip of that, and that's going to go viral. That is an insane person to put in with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre.
That is funny.
Don't bury the Bills yet. James Cook, Keon Coleman. Keep an eye on Keon Coleman. I think he's going to have a monster rookie year.
I hope he do, because everybody's talking like he's going to be that guy. But, I mean, he's going to have some big shoes to fill, man.
He does.
Exactly. So it's going to be a fun year. The AFC East, Dolphins, Bills, Jets, Patriots are the little brother of the division, right? They're going to suck. And so everyone else is going to be fighting for the top. But I can't wait for the season. John, thanks so much for coming on. It's always an honor to have you on the show. Amanda, good stuff as always. And can't wait to get this season going. But Jets fans, we hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. And have a great one, guys. Peace out.